What is the most gruesome Stephen King story you've read?
Gruesome?
Since we were just talking about him off air.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
No, I forget. I forget the name of the. It's something game.
Gerald's Game.
Yeah, with the chick who's handcuffed.
I was just thinking.
Yeah, like that one was pretty rough.
I know the movie version where she slides her hand out of the like that was horrible.
I don't know. Misery's like
the hobbling.
Yeah, and
but didn't in the book she just like axes his ankle or something? She didn't break him, did she? I thought she cut his foot off.
No. It's in the book that I think she breaks him, but I think in the movie...
No, she used a sledgehammer in the movie to break him.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe it was like an original first draft or something. I could have sworn I heard he got his ankles cut off in the book version, but I never read it, so...
But even just like, the mental, like...
torture.
Yeah, it was hard to watch that.
Well, I'll check those out one day.
Yeah.
When am I supposed to read my next Stephen King book?
I don't know. I thought it was supposed to be part of your 5 winter reads, but then
you... It was not.
Yeah, that's what you said, but... That's lies.
Lies? You know what? I'll get on that when you read, something.
Hey, I've
been read any classics in the last month. Casino Royale's not a classic. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It doesn't count.
The Slaughterhouse 5.
That was for the podcast. That doesn't count. Things for the podcast don't count. Everybody knows that. Dracula doesn't count. See, if we did a Mice and Men on the podcast, that wouldn't have counted, but it counts for you because we're making up stuff. Yeah. I actually really want to get to some Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
But I already have skirted my winter reads list, so I need to at least get one more of those books off my list before I go to that.
You brought up Dracula for a second. So I heard that there's a movie in development, but the whole movie is just, so you remember in Dracula whenever, the boat scene when they're traveling, like...
Yeah, the sailors.
And, like, all the sailors are just slowly getting picked off, kind of like, that's just gonna be the movie.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Dracula on a boat. I like it. I want to see Dracula fuck some dudes up on a boat.
Samuel L. Jackson's there. I'm just sick and tired of these motherfucking Draculas on my motherfucking boat.
I hate when Draculas are on the boat. And then comes Alucard. Oh, I know what you're doing there, backwards Dracula. Alucard's just bizarro Dracula. I don't care what anybody says. He's just got stupid facial hair. My legs are extremely hot because there's a fucking 80-pound monster on them. What are you doing down there, bro?
What are you just so peaceful, just?
He can't be cool down there. This is the hottest area in the room. Like, why wouldn't you go lay by the couch or on the couch? I lay on my feet. Oh, well. Welcome to the DPW podcast. Wiki, Wild Wild West. Rolling to the Wild Wild West. Strolling to the Wild Wild West. I can't put the actual music on because we'll get sued.
Desperado. You can't see that, but I got a head bob going on.
Yeah, they can't see the head bob. Oh, man. What's my name? Caleb James. I'm the host. With me. Who are you?
With the mostest.
Spencer, the Hong Kong Hooligan Church.
Ooh.
It was Hong Kong. I was thinking about making it really long, but then I just didn't want to. Couldn't come up with anything good. It starts with H's. That's appropriate.
Yeah.
Age-appropriate podcast. Oh, yeah, we're PG now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so every time we swear, we have to put a duck noise.
Ooh, a lot of ducks.
So anyway, I was giving this chick right in the own... And then so many ducks on that fucking
right in the quack.
That's what DBW is now. The Duck Podcast. So you wanted to talk about a story you had an idea about writing possibly one day at a certain point in time.
In the near to far future.
Time is relative, so that could happen.
Yeah, it already happened.
You might already have written it. I don't know. So your story idea is about a man who listens to a podcast.
A man who listens to a podcast.
A crime podcast. And I feel like you took this idea when I said, hey, Spencer, I want to do a crime podcast, but I want it to be about you, the crimes that you're committing. But your idea was the guy doesn't know he's committing the crimes? Or
yeah. Well, like,
it's about him, but he doesn't know it until he slowly starts realizing?
Yeah, well, I figured, like, he would just be searching for new podcasts, and like right now, like the crime genre podcast is like
popping
so
like some pink pussies.
He'd just be going through there, and he'd find this one, and he would like start from the beginning, and they would be like cases. So maybe be like 5 to 6 like parts for and then it'd be like a new thing. So he'd go through those, and then eventually down the line, he would get to these ones where he would slowly realize it was him, because it'd be like bad, like kind of messed up things. Like whenever you're a kid, you go and you break out some windows at like a factory or something, or something like that. You bully another kid for something, like for some reason, or something like that kind of stuff. And eventually, as the episodes go, to some kind of bigger crime that he does not yet know that he's going to commit. He doesn't find that out until, until he listens to the episode. And it's kind of like him listening to it kind of causes it to happen kind of scenario kind of things.
Wasn't there a Tom Cruise movie that was kind of like that? I think it was a Philip K. Dick novel. Not the Manchurian Candidate. It was one where about police were going back in time to arrest people before they committed the crimes.
Yeah, I know.
I don't remember what the name of that was. I don't even know if I ever actually watched that movie.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, because like they came in like little ball thingies that they,
and then like the whole theme of the movie was, how could you punish someone for something they didn't commit yet?
Yeah.
But they were going to commit it. Not to be confused with the Jet Li movie, where he just goes around beating up other Jet Lis. That was a good one. I forget the name of that, too.
And then I was thinking maybe it turned out like maybe he's doing like, he ends up doing the crime to maybe like help somebody or something, but like people won't know that, Or
maybe it turns out he's the host of the podcast and he's schizophrenic.
Or, because then I figured that also if I ever wanted to maybe go and try to do it again, because like I said, like, as he was listening to those series, unbeknownst to him, like, that stuff that happened to people that listened to the podcast before, like, you know what I mean? So, like, the next person...
I feel like you'd have to make him find out that podcast actually isn't, like, a podcast that everyone can listen to. Just him, somehow. That'd be tricky. Like a dark web podcast.
Dude, man, I could just have him going around, like, asking his friends, like, hey, have you guys, like, ever listened to this podcast about whatever? And they're like, no, and you're like... And they go and they try to look it up, but they can't find it. He's the only one that can bring it up like on his phone or whatever. Maybe something like that.
And then when he goes to play it for him, it won't play.
Maybe, yeah.
So, this fucking piece of shit phone. Yeah, you can do some fun things with that. Lots of murder. I think
That would just have him be like a real, like, just like recluse guy who doesn't have, like, you know what I mean?
With the big beard.
Maybe.
Well, I guess that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, bye, guys.
All right. I haven't really written anything. I haven't had any story ideas. I thought about a story idea, and then I didn't like it, so I just forgot about it. I've been doing that a lot lately. I don't know, maybe I should write something tomorrow, not tonight. You know what I need to do? Get paid to write something. That's what I should start doing, is trying to write for the newspaper or something.
You should see if you can get back on those Muscle Magazine.
They've been posting a lot, so I'm sure they've been posting my old articles a lot too. So I'm sure if I message them, I can get back.
Do you not get anything?
No, it's just like a one-time commission deal. Yeah, if you got royalties, I'd be balling.
Yeah, give them 5 cents a pop, motherfuckers.
Hey, that adds up to almost a whole $1 after a while. No, unfortunately, when you are a freelance writer, you are just selling your soul to the man. I noticed Nicholas Oberon's been doing that a lot lately. He's been posting, it's a lot of British shit or something, though, so I don't... But he's been, like, different magazines, or maybe one magazine. I didn't really look into him about the stuff he's writing, like, articles, but it's always about, like I said, like, weird English shit or something going on in other countries, so I don't know. But I guess he's, in the freelance game, I would imagine. The book sales probably don't pay all the bills.
No, probably not, unfortunately.
No. You know what? I don't want to do this without Ashley here, because this was his idea. But we were talking earlier about, like, publishing. How, because I was looking into some people complaining about, like, they got turned down from a major publisher because they don't have a high enough social media presence. But their pitch, like, it was an agent that turned them down. But their pitch was really good. Like, the book, I guess, they was like, oh, it's a great book. I loved it, but we just can't market this because you don't have enough social media following. our followers. So me and Ash were talking about it. I was like, that's such fucking dog shit because everyone I know that has like 20 to 50,000 followers on there that sells their book, they're always bitching. It's like, we don't sell any books off of this.
Yeah.
Most of the people on there, like the self-published authors, they're only selling their work to other authors and vice versa. So it's like a big circle jerk. It's like, oh, buy your book, you buy my book. Because someone I saw today was bitching about how a lot of her books weren't getting reviews, even though she'd been selling in like the double digits. It's because it's probably to other authors or people who will buy it, but they're not actually reading it.
Yeah.
And then I could go into the whole thing. Do you buy your fucking reviews? Like, hey, I'll send you a copy of the book and give you $5 if you read it. Or, like, whatever people do. So, like I said, I didn't want to, because Ashley wanted to get on the episode and have a full episode about like the topic. But it did have me thinking, though, what is the role of a traditional publisher anymore? Like, they get you in bookstores. The main thing is like a respect.
Yeah.
Like versus a self-publishing. If you get published by like Random House or something, you get the respect. It's like, oh, he's published by a major publisher.
This is a very simple analogy. It's like the heavyweight title belt.
Yeah.
It's like having the like self-publishing is like the Intercontinental belt. It's a good belt.
Yeah.
It's a good belt. It's a fine belt.
Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Remember they used to have the TV championship belt?
Yeah.
It's like the TV belt if you self-publish. It's still a championship belt, just not high enough.
Mid-card. Very mid-card.
Very mid-card. Do they still have the US belt? That was like a big one for a long time. Intercontinental was a big one.
Yeah.
But then, now they got like if you go WWE, it's like 2 championship, like heavyweight and then the Universal Champion. Yeah. What's just the top dog? Fuck off with that shit. Anyway, I was thinking that the publishing, other than the respect and the fact that they get you into bookstores, and also if you were in mainly if you're like a literary writer, but they have like different, like the Booker Award stuff, like literary awards. You 99.9% of the time you can't get involved in those unless you're actually published through a big publisher.
When was the last time you got any kind of like not lesser known thing at the bookstore? Like, you know what I mean?
Like not a mainstream or a known author, you mean? Like,
yeah. You either ordered it offline or you got like a Kindle version. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, like I was saying to Ash, like if you go to Barnes & Noble or something, you don't see self-published books. They don't sell them. At least that I never noticed. Maybe some, like, so I know some will have like local or like local authors, but I don't know if those are self-published or not. I never really looked, but I don't think you can really get into because you have to have like a big order. But the main thing with the publisher is if, like, say you go into Barnes and Noble, you have to, like, the publisher promises that if these books don't sell, they'll take them back. Yeah. Well, if you're an indie author, obviously you're not like that would suck. Like, oh, Barnes and Noble bought 100 copies of my book to sell, but then 90 of them come back, so now you got to fork over that money again. That would suck. Also, like a big publisher, you do get you get your upfront bonus, which would be nice. And then after say it was a really successful book, after the publisher recoups their money, then you'd get the royalties for that book too. So, and then obviously if they want to get turned into a movie or something.
Yeah, but if you make sure you have your contract.
Yeah, but if you self-publish, technically that's just all your money, 100%. Yeah. But then, another good thing about publisher, they like the editing, the cover,
you take some of the work off of your
format, all that fucking ebooks, all that shit you don't have to do. But what really disturbs me about the whole thing is they don't market your books anymore. They want you to do it.
Yeah.
Which is why they want you to have such a high social media following. And most writers are not good at marketing their books. Most of the time I've seen authors who market their books very well are not good authors.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if that's just a thing that goes hand in hand or what. Then you go Andy Weir style. Okay, they are good at marketing their book. They had a big audience before they got the publishing deal. That almost makes you think, why do you need the publishing deal? Because Andy Weir, remember, The Martian was online, and he had like a huge following. That's why they picked it up. And I'm almost like, I mean, it worked for him. He optioned movies and shit, but did you really need to get it published through a publisher, or could you have sold that yourself and made a shitload of money?
Well, maybe, because when he was publishing online, he was probably just putting that for free, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Well, that would, like, if they reached out to him, like, hey, this is popular, that's understandable. But I've seen, like, a lot of authors who do similar things, and they make, they get a lot of views and stuff, so they end up just self-publishing, and they make all 100% profit. Yeah.
One thing, though, about the contract might be also, like, because they do, like, sometimes they do, like, a 2 to 3 book deal, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And knowing that, like, okay, there's this book that they just bought, and now I have to write, like, 2 more.
What happens if you, say you got, like, $100,000 to write 3 books. Like, they gave you $100,000 up front. And you got a 3-book deal. And obviously, if you don't write the 3 books, you have to turn the money back.
Yeah.
Or at least whatever the difference would be, say, if you only wrote 2 books. What if you die and you already had that money? Like, they gave you the money, you took it, you cashed it and went and bought a bunch of cocaine and hookers, you OD, and you died without writing any books. Did they come after your family? Like, what happens?
Well, I mean, I think if you go the route of, like, buying a whole bunch of coke and ODing with strippers, you might not be, like, your family might be not,
around?
Yeah, or that close-knit to where, you know...
I just don't know if they work like debt collectors, because your family's not responsible for the debt if you die, but they act like they are.
Yeah.
If they can get you, like, say one of your parents die or something, and they owed a bunch of money to credit cards and shit, like, those companies will try to come after you, like, if you're the son or something, but like, that's not my debt. They'll bother you. Hospitals do that too, and then eventually got sue them, and then they drop it. But I see publishers coming to break some legs.
Maybe that's the way to go with just debt. Just build up so much debt until you die, and not like...
I think there's some people who do that. See, that's when I read like these old Japanese novels, it's funny because they talk about like these whole families for generations are ruined because like their great-great-great-grandfather owed the emperor or something, a certain amount of rice. So it's like the whole generations of family are impoverished and working pretty much as slaves to pay off this debt. And I was watching this show, Midnight Diner, by the way. You can watch it on Netflix, folks. It's one of my favorite shows. It's modern Japan. And one of the characters on there was a prostitute. And the reason why she was a prostitute is because she's been paying off her mother's debt. I'm like, geez, I guess in Japan, the debt's more serious than here. I don't know if you can just go bankrupt and clear the debt like you do here. I think they just...
Clear bankruptcy!
I think over there, they're just like, no, you pay this. You pay this or you die, and then your family pays it.
And that's like the weird thing with like, like Japanese culture and stuff like that. It's like, you go to be a prostitute to help pay the debt, but then also being the prostitute, you have the shame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a big thing with, with them too.
Well, in Japan, being a sex worker isn't frowned upon as much as it is here. It is to the degree, like, say you're a sex worker and then you want to go work in an office, just like a normal office job. They'll see that you're a sex worker and you'll probably get turned down. But if you're just a plain sex, like, if that's just your job, because I'm pretty sure it's legal. Like, they have the love houses or love hotels. So you just go and get a hooker. So it's not as frowned upon as it is here because this country sucks. Because everyone, wants hookers, but you can't get them. It's like, I don't understand. Why can't we have prostitution here? I mean, we don't have to get into it. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a lot less incels and fucking all these people shooting up schools and doing crazy shit if they could just go have sex without having to like stalk women or anything.
Yeah.
Like, sure, it's creepy to a degree, like some of these guys, but you know what? Just let it happen.
Yeah.
Make a lot of money off of taxes, just like we. Just make a lot of money off of taxes. Yeah. And everyone could be balling. But no, we gotta fucking do it the 80-year-old boomer whatever the fuck generation that is, 67-year-olds. Because they make the law still, and they don't want us to have fun. Meanwhile, in the 60s, they're just taking dicks and pussies from all directions in their big hippie love fest. Fuck you guys.
Covered in mud everywhere.
Yeah, isn't that dog shit? That's like going fucking out to the bar, getting hammered drunk driving on the way home and killing someone, and then you fucking like have your dad bail you out or something, and then he gets in trouble for it. Or like, fucking, you leaving a big giant fucking tab at the bar, thousands of dollars because you were buying everyone rounds and all this stuff, and then you just duck out and your buddy who's sitting there with you, he has to pay. I am currently reading books, but I have not hit my winter list outside of Casino Royale. And you were currently you're still reading that Sleeping Beauties, aren't you?
Yeah.
You didn't finish it yet.
No, I've read like 100 pages from when I started it.
One word at a time.
One word at a time.
Yeah, I've been splitting my time between various books and manga, mostly manga, so I need to get back to... I keep reading these, like, fairly short novels, and it's taking me forever to read them, because I'll read, like, not even half a chapter, and then I'm like, okay, I'll just put this away and go read, one of these 8,000-page mangas.
Yeah.
And I feel like I make very little progress on those, because I'll look and I'll be like, oh, I'm only on page 60. I'm like, this is really girthy, though. And I realize they start the page count over after because it's...
yeah.
It's like an omnibus. So they start the page count over every time. So technically I'm on like page 500. But it's almost demoralizing. Like you just see that page and it's like 60. Dude, what are you doing, bro? Why are you... Like, I mean, we want him to be good, so I guess we can't complain. He's not moving. And he's just really stiff.
Yeah.
Is he stiffing you?
Yeah,
he's like,
Ugh! Yeah, the paws across the feet.
He likes doing that. And he's really buff, too. Because, like, if he was a running back, like, that stiff arm would be vicious. Because he gets me sometimes with that. I'll be on the couch, and he just pushes me off. And I'm like, dude, you're built for fucking people up.
My couch.
My couch, Dad. We'll end this on any movies are you looking forward to?
Nah, I mean... I'm
still waiting for fucking Candyman to come out. It was supposed to come out. I don't understand. I get because of COVID came and we had to suspend whatever, like, movies coming out. But why, like, completed movies that were set to drop. Like, Candyman was going to be in summer.
Yeah.
So why didn't you just release it on streaming? I know you're not going to make all the big theater money, but you're not going to at this point. Like, even if the theaters open up, I don't think you're going to make a killing on your movie.
Especially not Candyman.
Yeah, not Candyman. Just release it on streaming. I feel like Marvel's probably going to have to lead the way.
Oh, yeah.
In what goes on, because I think they're just going to mostly do streaming. It kind of sucks, like, everybody's talking about WandaVision. Was that HBO? Not HBO, Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus.
See, I got rid of Disney Plus, so I can't watch any of those. I'm not getting it for that. Give a fuck. Care.
Yeah, I don't care about it
anymore. There's too much Marvel shit for me to care about anymore. I'm a DC guy now. 100% new Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah.
Yep. Because there's more Jared Leto. They're doing the Suicide Squad director's cut where they're bringing all the Jared Leto scenes back because he's so amazing. And I'm sorry, but I watched some of the cut scenes where he is just full Ace Ventura in that movie.
Yeah.
He is. Like, I'll show you one of the ones later. It's like he's literally doing Ace Ventura bits as the Joker.
Talking at his asshole? Or...
Almost. Like, just his voice and his stupid blah, like, over the top. Like, you're trying to be Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey would have made a better Joker than him.
Always, I thought I would like to see Jim Carrey get another crack at the Riddler.
Yeah. They were talking about having him as a Moon Knight or something crazy. I don't see that, but...
What's his face? They got him, I forget his name, but they cast the Moon Knight. It's that guy from Star Wars, the guy who played Poe Dameron.
I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy because everybody talked about that guy, and I don't know that guy. I don't remember. Like, everyone's like, yeah, they just like him because his name's Poe. That's all it is. He's a Poe boy. Yeah, there's honestly, the only thing I was really looking forward to was Candyman. Can't really name another movie I wanted to see. New Spider-Man movie looks like it's going to be a mess. They got 50 villains now.
Yeah.
Just keep casting villains. If they do a live-action Spider-Verse thing, though, I'll be excited for that.
Right. But that's what, like, the whole Doctor Strange thing, it's gonna, like... Yeah. Especially
WandaVision's supposed to introduce, like, a big character. I don't know if it's gonna be, Quicksilver, is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Quicksilver's coming back, or if they're gonna, bring in another main, like a Wolverine or something.
Well, I'm just really interested with the Doctor Strange is because of, what's his name's directing it, Sam Raimi, you know.
Ooh.
That's what makes me, like, kind of excited for it.
Are they going back to the horror theme they were gonna have? Because it was supposed to be, like, a horror-themed movie. Like, more of a horror... It was supposed to be Marvel's first, like, horror-style movie.
It's like the multiverse of madness.
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to be. So if Sam Raimi's doing it, he blend the humor and the horror good.
And that's what I think, like, that's what you might get, like, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man might show up and stuff like that. And you know there gotta be some Bruce Campbell in there.
Better not be a fucking Andrew Garfield.
Well, that's just the talk, too, like, having them all...
What if they just replace Andrew Garfield?
Well, what if they just have him just without his mask off?
I think they should just get Colin Hanks to replace him.
Yeah?
I don't know why Colin Hanks. Because he looks kind of like Tom Hanks, so I like it. I always wanted Tom Hanks to be Spider-Man. That's a real damn shame. Like, I can't... Normally, around this time of year, you're getting pumped up for, like, a March to May release of some big movie. And I've been trying to keep up, and I have not... Like, I keep hearing things. Oh, new Deadpool. Oh, bringing Wolverine in. Like, I hear all these things, but I'm not seeing anything.
And normally, too, we'd be swinging into, convention season and stuff. But again, seems another year without conventions.
Woo-hoo. What if everything, just say, starting in March, everything just went back to normal? Like, sure, you probably have to wear masks. But even say that. Just say they cured it. No, you can just go back normal conventions. What's the first convention you'd want to do to break your cherry again? Because your hymen healed.
Yeah.
It healed back up.
I don't know, just whichever one was closest, probably. Just be a complete, slut about it. Just whichever's closest, just...
Really, Spencer? Barbie Fest? I
Whichever
didn't even know Barbies were a big thing anymore.
Whichever one was ready to go.
I'm ready and I'm getting in there and I'm getting deep. Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, I really want to go to a good anime con. I want to go to...
It'd be nice if, the first one was, a Three Rivers con.
That would be cool. Here's my goals for conventions if we ever get them. I want to go to, an actual, more of, a literary con.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I want to do porn con.
Yeah.
Or do a porn con. I want to do a literary type of con, and I want to do an anime con.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else that we haven't really been to.
Is it weird that I would say I think the most out of place we would be is the literary con?
Really?
I don't know that's what that says, but
maybe you.
I think that's where we would most stand out at.
I'd wear a nice jacket, so I'd be all right. They'd be like, "Oh, that guy's got a nice leather jacket on. Clearly, he's a writer. This fucking guy over here with the comic garb, though." I don't know. What do you write there, fella? Do you have to be a writer to go here? Yep. Erotica? Shot in the face. Ooh, go to Erotica Con.
I no.
The whole thing will be that...
no.
The whole thing will be just like that awful panel we went to.
That's what I'm thinking. That's just that a panel of that was that terrible. I don't know a whole convention if I could handle it.
We're going to end the episode by talking shit on the one lady from that who... What was it she wrote, was it 2 books a month?
Some shit like that.
And then someone asked her, about the editing process and stuff,
editing?
And she was like, I don't edit, I don't have beta readers, and she was telling people, you don't need that stuff. Just write it and publish it. And I just wanted to stand up and go, you do you, honey, and just leave. That's the less I gotta compete with if you're putting out shitty fucking work like that.
No, you know what would have been fun, though? Is to buy a copy of the book and just red pen it.
Yeah.
And just put it online.
There you go. I still, there's a couple authors I see who say they never edit. They're bragging about it. And I just want to be like, maybe you should. I'm sorry, but who doesn't edit or hire an editor? One of the two. Honestly, you should do both.
Yeah.
But, if I'm self-publishing, I'm editing my novel 5 fucking times, and then I'm hiring someone to fix what I missed.
And still, I wonder what else is wrong with it.
Yeah, because I noticed this with more recent books, and or even just more recent versions of books, like when you get one of those new mass paperbacks of even if it's a classic, a lot of typos. See, I can't. That James Bond version I got was real shit, but there was typos in that. But there's just some books, that one book I'm reading now. It is 20. It was written 2016 to now, last 4 years.
Yeah.
And there's some typos in that. And I'm like, do people... Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I was reading some letters to the editor in the local newspaper because I was thinking, well, I'm going to start writing some fucking letters to the editor just to see if I get in the newspaper. I was like, I don't know why. I have this old vision, old-timey H.P. Lovecraft when he used to do stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, so these are probably people who either want to be writers. Nope. No. There's just a lot of typos and terribleness. I'm like, these are maximum is 400 words you're allowed.
Yeah.
And most of them are about 50 to 100. That's I've seen bigger posts on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did you miss all these? There shouldn't be 3 typos in a 200 word fucking letter. That's ridiculous. Because I'm just saying the local paper, whoever edits that, because I've seen it in their articles too online. They're not paying attention. You don't have just software because some of these words are just easy words that are just misspelled. You don't even have basic software that would just cover that. What is the budget over there? I don't know, because that's it's a local paper here, but it's still more of a major paper. You can get that in Pittsburgh and stuff. So I don't know. It reminds me of one of those real small town papers that just one guy writes, edits, and everything for. That'd be my goal. We should start our own newspaper. What's really going on in Pennsylvania?
Sure.
You get a multiple task.
Okay.
You are associate editor.
Okay.
Photographer.
Okay.
Beat reporter.
Okay.
Copy editor.
All right.
You have to learn how to do the printing, too, because you have to get, like, that real shitty ink that gets all over your hands. So anyway, folks, if you want to...
Do you at least get to do the comic strips? I mean...
No.
Aw.
I gotta hire somebody for that. You weren't thinking I was paying you, right? Fucking stupid guy. You don't make money paying people. It's America.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, if you want to write a letter to the editor, I'm the editor of the Drunken Pen Writing website, so you can write a letter to me. I've been getting some recent ones lately, and some of them are crass.
Yeah, quite rude.
No, just trying to get me to buy stupid shit. I think they're scammers. A lot of blog writing services keep reaching out to us, so I wouldn't count those. But anyway, you can go to drunkenpenwriting.com and contact us if you want, or just read our work. We have some new stuff coming out here. By the time this episode drops, I'm not sure when we'll post this one, but there'll be new stuff on there. There's always stuff coming. Always stuff. It's always coming. It's always coming. I don't know if it ever gets here, but it's always coming.
Yeah.
Just like me, I'm always coming. Somewhere. That didn't help, did I? Can't really fix that one. And you can go to Twitter at Drunk Pen Writing, where you can yell at us about our meme selections. You can go on Instagram and Facebook, Drunken Pen Writing, and the old YouTube, if you were unaware that we had one of those. It's mostly just the podcast. 98% podcast, 2% smut. And, of course, as always, Spencer's OnlyFans. What are you this week? Because you change your name all the time on there, aren't you?
It's just whatever the podcast is.
Oh, is
so
it? I thought you made your own name.
No,
you
gotta watch you gotta listen to the podcast so you know what to look for on the...
So you're not like the Gregorian gooch getter or something? Okay. Well, that's good to know. So, folks, just, you gotta hunt for that.
Yeah.
Just hunt for that, like the,
I figured that'd help us get, listens. Get some downloads.
How's that working?
I don't know, you tell me. How's the numbers looking?
I'll give you a hint. Great!